In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the 10 worst things in EAFC 24 in my opinion. Now, the things that I've picked might differ for you, so please be sure to comment down below the things that you really dislike about this game. And with all that aside, guys, let's get started. If you guys want coins for FC 24, make sure you check out MMOEXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're very fast, they're very cheap, they're very reliable, and if you use my code Rema, you can get yourself a lovely 5% discount. So starting off at number 1, in my opinion, the worst thing about this game is the fact that your controller settings will still reset. Now, this has been a problem for over a year since FIFA 23, and the problem is that every time you load up the game, there is a chance that your settings will reset. And it's not even just when you load up the game. Sometimes it can be when you've sat in the menu for a little while. Sometimes it can happen in the middle of a game. Basically, you always have to redo your settings because the game has reset them, and this is extremely infuriating because you're constantly sat in the menu before a lot of the games just ensuring that your settings are correct. This should not be an issue, and it is by far the worst thing about this game for me. Now, number 2 is inconsistent gameplay. Now, I've played FIFA for over a decade, and for as long as I can remember, this has been a problem. Now, inconsistent gameplay, for those of you that are not aware, is that every game feels different and not in a good way. Sometimes you can load up the game, it can be very fast and responsive, your passes can be snappy, your players will turn when they're told to. Other times everything can feel weighted, delayed, sluggish, your passes feel super weighted, and again, not in a good way. It just feels like a different experience all the time, and it feels like it's impossible to learn the game because it is constantly changing, and again, not in a good way. And when this game feels horrible with inconsistent gameplay, it is practically unplayable and not fun. So I really hate this, and it has to be on the list. Number 3 is that this game is a complete sweatfest all the time, and it is completely EA's fault because of the way they design the game. Now, this used to primarily be a problem with Ultimate Team, but it's now also a problem with even pro clubs on the game. Now, what I mean by this is every single game mode in this game, so if you look at FUT Champions, FUT Draft, Division Rivals, they're all competitive and they're all skill based. So every time you play against an opponent, you are completely sweating your balls off. It is impossible to sit down for hours and enjoy it because you are always happen to be on the top of your game. There is not one chill game mode in the game that is online. You know, we have squad battles, but that's offline and no one really wants to play that. But like online, we don't have a simple tournament mode where you can just chill out and try new players. Everything is always full meta. You always have to try hard, and it gets exhausting. Number 4 is the fact that everybody just goes for cutbacks as their only way to score goals. This is genuinely the most boring and painful experience you can have on this game, apart from the things that I've mentioned, and it's basically where these players will just always run to the byline and cut back for a simple tap in. That is the only play they will make. That is all they want to do in the game, and it is just extremely boring. Now, I don't always just blame the players for this, but again, it's based on the way EA have designed this game. It's just boring. Nobody likes it. Number 5 is Dropback. I still don't know why this is an issue in this game. It genuinely makes no sense, and EA even know that this is a problem, especially with the back 5 formations, because they've even banned these back 5 formations in their pro tournaments. So they know it is completely broken, they know it's overpowered, they know it's really insufferable to play against, and they still don't do anything about it. So what I'm talking about is obviously these players which will always lump their full team behind the ball and just wait and wait and wait until you make a mistake and then counter attack you. The fact that EA have acknowledged that this is a problem and they still haven't fixed it is genuinely mind-blowing. Sorry to interrupt the video, guys, but I have noticed around 90% of you that watch the content are not subscribed. So if you are finding any of these videos helpful, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, as it does help me out massively. Also, don't forget to drop the video a like as well. And with all that aside, guys, let's get back to the video. Now, number 6 is the complete opposite to Dropback, and it's something I'm guilty of because there is literally nothing you can do about it unless you use it yourself, and that is the 71 depth problem. Now, I've made a full in-depth video talking about why this is so overpowered, but in short, basically 71 depth on the new gen versions of the game will make your team automatically press your opponent really well, makes it very easy to get the ball back if you use it. There is an automatic overload of the ball side, it completely breaks your opponent's attacking AI, and it is just a complete pain to play against. Now, everybody is using this because, you know, you pretty much have to if you want to win games at this point, but they need to change this. This is completely broken, takes no skill, and is genuinely genuinely killing the experience of this game. Number 7 is Bouncebacks when you are defending. Now, even if you make a perfectly timed tackle in this game, you do it manually, you do everything correct, you time it, a lot of the time the ball will still go into the path of the person that you've just tackled and they get the benefit of it. So even though you've made a perfect tackle, your player ends up out of position and the attacker still has the ball to get an easy chance. Now, manual defending is a little bit better than it was last year because it kind of needs to be with the way that they've toned down the AI a little bit, but it's still way too unrewarding, way too RNG based, and way too frustrating for the average user. Honestly, this needs to be fixed. I don't know why they don't just make every single tackle possession based. I doubt anybody would complain about that, but they need to find a way to stop these bounce backs and deflections because it is really, really infuriating. Now, number 8 is a bit of a weird point to some people, but it's the fact that the game just feels completely dead all the time. And I'm not talking about dead in the way of content, we will kind of get onto that in a moment, but what I mean is everything just feels dead on the pitch in the game. There is not a lot of movement from the attacking AI, not a lot happens, and it is always the same plays being made all the time. Now, I've kind of had this problem since I'd probably say about FIFA 19, FIFA 20, when for some reason or whatever they decided to like dumb down the attacking AI and decided to turn it more into like a basketball simulation game where you're constantly just taking players on in a 1v1 and whatnot. It just doesn't feel as alive, you know, it always just feels like a 1v1, doesn't really feel like the rest of the players on the team are doing that much, and it shouldn't feel like that. Now, number 9 is that content, regardless of the game mode that you play, is just usually really underwhelming and does not really motivate the player base to play a lot of games, and that's what the content should do. It should make you want to play more than you already do. It should give you something to aim for and make you feel rewarded for doing it. Now, for example, I play a lot of pro clubs, I win a lot of games, I level up my player, you know, I do a lot of this stuff, and the only thing that they really reward you with is like, I don't know, the odd hairstyle in Volta that has been the same one for like 2 years now. You know, they don't really add anything cool, anything rewarding to make you want to grind. You know, in Ultimate Team they should add multiple objectives which might take a long time but are really worth it for the rewards you get. Even if it's just like an icon pack for winning, I don't know, 500 games, which is crazy, it gives you something to grind for, and there's just nothing really like that at the moment. All the content just seems to be a little bit dead. Some of it's too easy to get for a really bad reward. I don't know, I just don't like the content that much on this game. Number 10 might be a controversial one, but the more I play this game, the more I hate the controlled sprint mechanic, and the reason I hate it is because it allows bad players to, you know, just score easy goals and do really stupid things like run through the entire defense or, you know, set up a cutback all the time. It's just really annoying to play against. Seems a little bit overpowered in my opinion. I don't like the fact that you can just hold the right bumper and then all of a sudden you're just lightning speed through everybody on the team and then you're able to get to the byline and just cut back. I really just don't like this mechanic, I'll be honest with you. I feel like it's a very unnecessary addition. I really would not be angry if they took it out. I'm personally just not a big fan of this. Let me know what you think of the controlled sprint down below, but honestly, I would not be mad if they removed it because I really don't like the way it assists terrible players to play a brainless style in the game, but that is just my opinion on it. So yeah, they are the 10 worst things in my opinion about this game. There are a few more, but you know, I don't want the video to be too long and I wouldn't want to call it, for example, 16 worst things about EAFC 24. So if you wanted another video like this, please be sure to let me know down in the comments and I'll think about doing another one. But I also want to know down below what the worst things are in your eyes about this game. You know, I really am interested to see what you guys don't like about this game, and we can see what the difference is in the community to see what some people like, what others don't. I just think it will be really interesting. But yeah, that's everything for the video, guys. If you have enjoyed or found it useful, please be sure to drop it a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and don't forget to turn on those notifications. And with all that aside, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out.